We are going to see in this tutorial how to import a 3D geometry coming either from a scan that was made with a 3D scanner, or from another software. We will see, so how to import the STL file type. So nothing simpler, we go to File, Import STL board. So we will select an STL, we'll start with a very simple STL here. So on import, Shaper Wave Dynamics analyzes the 3D shape in STL, and therefore extracts the outline that we see here at the bottom. It extracts the rocker line that we see here. It extracts the sections from it, so the different sections that make up the board in the different places. There will actually be more than its 3D geometry. We will really have all the modules that make it up. So here it's a board with a weird rocker and a slightly exaggerated belly. But this is an example to show that despite the imported geometry, we can always edit the geometry. For example, here, if this board there has a really very weird rocker, with a bottom, with a huge belly here, and we can always touch it up using the rocker tool. And we see here that indeed the rocker line has a bit weird. So we are going to tighten our rocker as we want, and therefore reshape this board and correct its defaults. In a very short time, in fact. And so we see here the restored board from a 3D STL geometry. We brought out the different important modules of the board, which are the rocker, the sections, we show it here, which are the rocker, the sections, and the outline, and we really rebuilt a board that we can reshape and retransform without being stuck with the geometry of the imported STL. Well, here we imported a board which is a bit weird. Let's agree we're going to take a board from our friends UWL. So here we're going to bring STL model that they proposed to us to do these tests, which should have a geometry more efficient. So we analyze the STL file. We extract the sections, we analyze the outline, we analyze the rockers. And here is the STL file extracted and analyzed. So we see the tail. We see the small concaves. At the back, we see the rails, the evolution of the rail, up to the front and the nose. So we're going to apply that to our project. We're also going to notice a little thing here. It's that the imported STL file was really small in size, and we have STL which was really very small. It was a length of 170 millimeters. So we understand that here it was a model file. So we're just going to put it back to size. We'll see how easy it is to put it back to size. Let's say it was let's go to feet, it was a 6'5". And so here is our model rebuilt from the STL import. So we find our rebuilt sections. We find our rocker with these lines that can be manipulated, of course, to correct or change this board to make it evolve. For example, in the smallest waves, we can accentuate the rocker. We have unlimited modularity. It is very simply to import and rebuilds anything you want. We could say to ourselves, on this board I remember that my section series was good. I liked it, so I'm going to copy it. So just save sections of this STL board. Import and put it in library to use it on other boards. We really work in modules, and we save a lot of time by never redoing something that suits us. If we made a nice board one day, it makes a nice rail, a nice section, and we want to remember it. We save it in the library and we can apply it to any other board. So the STL file is really the file format that we find everywhere, that we use to make 3D prints, that we use to do CNC machining. Regardless of the brand of CNC, it will read the STL file Of course, Shaperwave Dynamics exports the STL file. So we can export the board, we can export just a part, outline, sections, bevels. There's a fun little thing, if this board I wanted to make it now in WoodCut. Well, I just need to check the option, WoodCut, which is here at the bottom left. So I have my WoodCut board, and you can see the explosion. And there, we see all the different parts of the WoodCut and the different elements of WoodCut that we could directly extract and save. To save each element, for example, here in the STL export file, we could export the sections, the bevels, these are the lengths, the rails and the planks, i.e. the top and bottom planks. So here we really have a powerful STL import/export tool, so that the shaper can really engage in new fabrications, or keep traditional CNC fabrications, or by hand, because of course here we will find the shaping phases. We will be able to dismantle the board again and go back to the shaping phases and return to have all the workshop manufacturing plans with the different bevels. For example, at bevel 1. So here we would start from the outline. Let's remove a little bit light. We would start from the outline, here from the block of foam in fact, and we can move forward. So here is the flat rocker zone, with the different thicknesses. The step after bevels one by one, we could of course display the images of the bevel planes if we want to be very precise. We can really rebuild our board and all that was recomposed according to the STL file that we imported. Here we can extract all that to create a shaper report for the construction of the board, and send it to the workshop. So that's it for this little tutorial on import or export STL 3D files into Shaperwave Dynamics.